Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Randi Thompson joins us. She's the political consultant here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers. As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
The new year is bringing so much fun to Tamarack Casino with cash and free play drawings Thursdays and Saturdays, and $40,000 in grand finale giveaways Thursday, February 27th. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're always delighted to welcome back to the program Randi Thompson, the political consultant. Pleasure to have you back.
It's always fun to be here.
So, what is tickling your fancy political-wise at this point in time?
Well,
I know you've been doing research for this.
Oh yes, I did. I actually did spend some time. So I'm chuckling a little bit at the overreaction to the governor's budget, saying, "Oh, he's $355 million over budget, 2.5%." I met with Ryan Cherry in December and talked about the budget, and they got $1 billion more in requests than they had in money. So
and he's the chief of
he's
staff.
the governor's chief of staff. So they had to drop $1 billion out of these budget requests from these various agencies because hey, let's go, get everything we want. So it's 2.5% of the budget is all it is, and they've already found, I think, most of it. They're down to like an $85 million deficit, which is, for you and I, that's big money, but for the state at a $12 billion budget, it's not that big of a deal. And I just love this overreaction because they just can't work with this governor. I don't get it. They will not work with this governor, who is, I think, one of the most bipartisan governors we've had since Brian Sandoval. And even, Kenny Gwynn and Brian were both reaching across the aisle, and so is Lombardo. But these Democrats are just so beholden to their fringe that they just don't work together.
I'm misquoting this or paraphrasing it, but Sandra Cosgrove, the political scientist, said, "Get over it."
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Get over it, work together. What's the best thing for Nevada? And the best thing for Nevada is to work together.
Lindsay Knox was on the program last week, and she was saying that initially she thought this was going to be a fairly smooth session, and not so much now.
No, I think you've got Aaron Ford, who's going to run against the governor, so you've got all the Democrats kind of lining up behind him. You've got Nicole Canizaro, the Senate Majority Leader, who's looking to run for AG. So they're all looking at their next election and not the next generation, which bothers me like anything.
Do you think that there are going to be more people announcing for governor on the Democratic side? Zach Conine has a big pile of money in a PAC.
Well, I heard Zach might actually run for AG, though, so he's got other things, too. But he could, if I had my choice, I'd prefer Zach Conine over Aaron Ford. Of course, then I think the governor can beat Aaron Ford easier. So go ahead, Aaron, please run. But yeah,
well, he's already announced.
Yeah, he's already announced. And he's just sticking to policies that this state has shown they don't support. So go ahead, Aaron, keep doing it, or Aaron, or whatever it is now. I think you're going to see some more Democrats. I don't think everyone's lined up behind Aaron, but we'll see.
It's going to be a very interesting cycle, and
Yeah.
and that will be the big race because there's no U.S. Senate race that year, no presidential race.
Right.
So it will be a very interesting time.
Yeah, and the governor's already got a bundle of money. So.
Yeah, but you know what? A bundle of money ain't what a bundle of money used to be.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know, if you remember back when Kenny Gwynn announced, the big deal back then was that he had raised $3 million already.
Yeah.
Right. $3 million today is what you find in the couch. I mean, I was talking to folks in D.C. They were saying $15 million that Steve Sisolak raised was nothing in a Nevada governor's race these days.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could be looking at what, $40-50 million on either side?
It's crazy.
So.
Yeah. Too much money. Well, who makes all the money? TV stations. So, yeah.
Oh, a terrible thing that broadcasters would make. But, you know, how long is this going to continue?
Yeah.
Because what you've seen, which I find fascinating, you and I are both old enough, even though we're teenagers, that we saw the birth of cable, where it went from, 12 stations. When I first moved to Reno in '78, there were 12 stations on the cable. And one of them was HBO, which was free, right? Mm-hmm. And nobody really took cable seriously. And then in Northern Nevada, one of the casinos, Gold Dust West, started spending $10,000 a month on cable. And suddenly you couldn't turn on a TV and not see a Gold Dust West commercial. Well, now, of course, cable is totally, acceptable socially and in every other way. But digital was kind of the stepchild. Now, because of all the money that was spent on political advertising, from the presidential cycle and the Senate race, certainly here in Nevada, it pushed advertising onto digital channels. Mm-hmm. That has lingered. I think that a lot of companies are looking at digital now and going, well, we never used to really look at that, but boy, we can buy 1,000 spots for $2 and we're getting results.
Yeah.
And so I wonder how much time broadcast TV stations have for the kind of monies that they've been charging. Is there going to be a reckoning?
Mm-hmm. Well, they've got the staff that are doing the fact checking, doing the reporting. That's versus the content that you and I might put on to Instagram or whatever it is. So, I mean, I hope that broadcast does stick around. We need it. It is vital.
It will, but I mean, I just don't know that it's going to be able to operate on a level of $100,000 for a spot in Las Vegas in the Super Bowl.
You're right. Yeah.
I don't know how much, longer people are going to be prepared to pay that kind of money.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, when I go to the grocery store and people say, hey, aren't you the woman in the Nevada heating ad, which I know you placed, it's like, okay, broadcast is still very much alive.
Oh,
okay?
no doubt
it's the
about
money.
that.
Yeah, you're right.
It's really more the cost factor
Yeah.
and seeing how a new generation of broadcasting, streaming, or whatever you want to describe it, is now coming into its own.
Yeah.
Whereas for a long time, people were just ignoring this. I would watch digital television in my office and not see any commercials that were directed at me. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden now I'm seeing a lot of commercials that are national type commercials or car commercials, attorney commercials that used to be just on broadcast and now they're all over digital.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. All right, so name, apart from, do we go past 75 vetoes in this cycle, some of the other big issues that you're looking at for this session?
Well, I think I'm mostly frustrated with the education discussions that are happening. I mean,
because
we suck at education. We're ranked towards the bottom, and this governor and Lombardo has done it, Gwynn has done it, Sandoval has done it, trying to push for the kids. And I don't know why Democrats continue to side with the teachers union and not the kids. And it's like every action they're taking, they look at what will protect underperforming teachers, not what's going to help underperforming students. So I'm so frustrated that the discussions that we have about how a school choice and opportunity scholarships, all they're looking at is it's going to take money away from public school teachers and the unions. So unless we just call them out point blank on that issue, we're not going to see a change in education. And that to me is the biggest frustration, is that education is the key to rising up in the social ecosystem. And do you want to get out of poverty, then get your kids into a good school.
All right, so do you divide this, instead of just one conversation about education as all-encompassing, do you divide it into teachers' pay, and then the second portion, and it's a different portion, is about standards and goals and how you get there? Because, teachers do deserve, a fair wage, as everybody does. Yeah. But the standards need to be, and it seems like we put it all together and we don't separate it out. And that's frustrating to me. And I think the biggest failure was what happened during COVID, where we were totally unprepared as a nation, the world maybe, to be able to teach during a crisis like that, when we should have been so prepared.
Yeah. And these students that were affected during COVID are going to have years of just lingering challenges to get over. And that is a problem. But teacher pay needs to be increased. Teachers historically have been in a two-income family where the husband's off at some executive thing and the wife's home teaching and making, $35,000 a year. That's not the case anymore. Teachers are actually a standalone business, and we've got to treat education like that. But we've got to start paying teachers as a merit-based situation, and we refuse to do that. Teachers Union refused to do that. I remember interviewing years ago the Washoe County Teachers Union president here on this, doing Newsmakers, and I asked her, what's the role of the Washoe County Teachers Union? And she says, to protect teachers. I said, I thought it was to educate children. I mean, that to me is just, that's what they're all about, protecting the teachers.
All right, but I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Okay.
But that is the job of the union, is to protect their workers. So in whatever industry it might be, my thought is that the union is there to protect the workers. But it's the job of the school boards and the state, and also now the nation, to set the standards and the goals that need to be achieved. So, I mean, it's already really a two-step there. Why would any union person not fight for more money and more benefits for their members in any situation?
But it's not just the money. It's protecting the teachers that have been pedophiles and they just moved around from school district to school district. I remember seeing a thing about that thick from Clark County School District of all of the teachers that had been written up for bad behavior. And they just, and talking to a teacher going, well, they just moved her to another school. They just moved her to another school.
Well, that occurred in the priesthood, and also occurred with university presidents and, school superintendents. I mean, one of our former school superintendents in Washoe County, Pedro Martinez, just got fired out of Chicago. I mean, and it's...
For refusing to take out a $300 million loan to pay teachers when he said, we will not be able to pay off that loan. I mean, that was a smart move on Pedro's part. I'm actually hoping Pedro comes back here. I liked Pedro. But no, I think the teachers union has just gone too far. I mean, you say the school board. I'm afraid the school board is now beholden to the teachers union. They're not looking out for the kids. And I love Beth Smith. I think she's a great lady. But and the school board is doing the right thing, but they're just not going far enough to stand up to the teachers union. I think it's just gotten too powerful. There's too much money there.
Okay, and then you look at the Clark County School Board.
Oh, geez.
And you say, boy, Washoe County has a fantastic school board.
It's very true. And that's where we do need accountability and transparency and some of the stuff the governor wants to do. Coming in and looking at the Clark County budget and saying, what'd you guys do? Somebody is not watching them the way they need to be. And so the governor's saying, fine, I'll come in and do it.
All right, so part of this you can lay at the feet of the media, because the media has been cut back and cut back and cut back, and is now seen in so many ways, not all, but in some, as a charity, something to be donated to rather than a product that's worth buying. And those were the people that were the watchdogs. Yeah. And the watchdogs are gone. So now who are the watchdogs?
Well, it's a good question. I mean, the voters.
Well, I'm asking a good question. The question is, do you have a good answer?
No, I mean, the voters are the watchdog, but they don't have the information.
Right, and they don't have the time.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at, it was interesting. Mark Robeson did a breakdown for the Reno Gazette-Journal of how much money was spent per vote in various races across the state and in Washoe County. And it was very interesting to read that. But what was more interesting to me was how few votes it took in some races, the down ballot races, to win elections.
Yeah.
And so with a lack of information and a lack of time for people to absorb that information. But at the same time, I'm at the store yesterday and they're talking about the Panama Canal. It's like, wow, okay.
Yeah, we're no longer worried about China. Well, I know we're still worried about China and Russia, but now it's Panama Canal, Canada, and Greenland. Okay, interesting. Yeah.
It really is. Let's take a break. We'll come back more with Randi Thompson. We might get her fired up here after this timeout.
Pro Group Management specializes in providing industries with the necessary components to satisfy and exceed workers' comp requirements. Every business has unique needs and specific regulations. Pro Group Management stays ahead of the curve, providing up-to-date services to keep your industry in top form. Discover how we simplify your tasks, improve efficiency, and reduce expense to keep you moving in a positive direction. Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Early in the morning or throughout the night, professional truck drivers are on the job, serving you, safely moving freight that's crucial to our economy. From the oldest industries to our newest innovators, from the exotic to the everyday, trucks are everywhere, moving everything. Never afraid to embrace a future that makes Nevada and our nation stronger. Trucking moves America forward.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you, but we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low, and our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way, because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do It Right guys and get the heat back on today. Call us today and we'll fix it today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why freeze for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your furnace fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with the political consultant, Randi Thompson. So what I found very interesting was I was talking to a very strong Democrat who was working on their ballot. And they came to the Amadei Kidd race. And Greg Kidd ran as an independent instead of running as a Democrat. So this person who's a strong Democrat said to me, I don't see a Democrat in this race. I said, there's not. There's only an independent. Oh, well, you like Amadei, right? And I said, yeah, Amadei's a good guy. He's been a friend for years. Well, then I'm voting for him. And I thought, how interesting that, we're at a point where party is so important that you'll go for familiarity rather than going for an independent, which throws into dispute this whole idea of how important the independents are. As candidates, not as voters.
Well, the independents used to be either a Democrat or Republican. We kind of forget that. I mean, a lot of them are, hey, I'm neutral, but a lot of them are ticked off Democrats or ticked off Republicans. So they still have that loyalty. I have several Republican friends that are independent now, but they'll still vote Republican. They won't vote for a Trump, let's say, but they'll vote for an Amadei because they want somebody that. I mean, Trump's been a challenge to the party as a whole on how to bring people. Personality, not policies. But I think people are realizing that a personal recommendation goes a lot further. I mean, election time, I get a lot of texts.
Right.
And I just take a picture of my ballot and I send it to them. I said, I'm not telling you how to vote. I'm just telling you how I'm voting. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. But if you want to talk to me about somebody, and I do this with my best friend's a Democrat, and we talked a lot about Rosen versus Sam Brown and that whole issue. So, just talking to people who are in the know about why they like this person, why they don't like this person. That really does matter.
Yeah, and I try to play the Tim Russert role, which is, well, here's the position on this one, but then on the other side, there's the position on that one, because it's not always clear cut. I mean, and Nevada is famous for splitting tickets.
Yeah.
And, obviously we saw that with Trump and Rosen. Although it was interesting, again, going back to the Mark Robeson piece, of how narrow the gap was between Rosen and Sam Brown. And it goes, and you're a media person as well. Politicians have got to stop hiding for the majority of their terms in office. I mean, they all have staffs that put out tons of press releases, but nobody really reads or covers those press releases. A few maybe, but not the multitude that comes out. And so they're forced to spend all this money running for re-election because nobody knows them at the end of a 4 or 6 year term. That's crazy.
Yeah. I think Masto is a master at getting out into the community, much more than Senator Rosen is. And I agree, I don't see Senator Rosen a lot, but I see Senator Masto a lot. But it's also, she's on Facebook and she's in the middle of, Minden, or she's in the middle of, Esmeralda County. So I think the social media does matter in that sense, that she's out and about in the state. But yeah, to sit there and sit in DC and do your job, but not let people know really what you're doing is not, you can't do it anymore. I mean, it's that brand, like the Trump brand is changing politics. You have to become your own brand to stand out.
Well, you're absolutely correct about that, and certainly in that instance. But I mean, if you look at Nevada, and from both sides of the aisle, Dina Titus and Mark Amadei never stop campaigning.
Yeah.
They don't call it campaigning, but they're at every event, at every community, and it's 365 days a year.
Yep.
I'm sure, I don't know about Mark traveling abroad, but I know Dina travels abroad. I'm sure that even when she's abroad, she's sending messages back to the district.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how you win, because, as she said, she got screwed on her district in reapportionment, but still wins big because of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's still retail politics. Even though we were talking a little bit earlier on the break about going door to door isn't as effective as it used to be, because people are just kind of, I don't know, COVID sort of taught us that we can keep our distance, so we don't want to talk to people, it seems like. But
well, also, we're sick of the phone calls and
exactly.
the texts and the asking for money.
Yeah.
That when somebody knocks on the door and says, I'm running for office.
Slam.
Yeah.
So, but retail politics still matters, but maybe it's not going to the door to door. It's going to those NAB meetings. It's going to those community events. It's going to fundraisers for Red Cross and just being there and being in the community. I think that has a lot more effect these days.
All right, let's take another break. More with Randi Thompson after this timeout.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
A new year brings new ways to win big with the $150,000 flurry of cash giveaways at Carson Valley Inn. Thursday and Saturday prize drawings, including up to $5,000 in cash and up to $10,000 during the grand prize giveaways. Only at the Carson Valley Inn.
Welcome to the Winnemucca Big R.
Hi, I'm John Walker. Welcome to Big R Lovelock.
Hi, I'm Rich Martin. Welcome to Fallon Big R.
My name is Braden. Welcome to Big R Fernley.
Hi, I'm Kelly. Welcome to Big R Sparks.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
Here on 7 at 7, we're bringing you the local headlines in just 7 minutes.
We've got you covered in the morning, evening, and for all breaking news in between and as it happens.
Life is busy, and we don't waste your time. Join us for local news now streaming on our YouTube page.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with political consultant Randi Thompson. I know one of your favorite things are all the boards and commissions we have in the state.
Well, Nevada is one of the worst states when it comes to trying to get into a profession. I think if the numbers are right, it takes 800 hours to become an EMT or a paramedic. It takes 1,400 hours to become a hairdresser.
Oh my God!
Yeah. So let's just look at that, and what that training means. In order for you to become a hairdresser, it is like 2.5 months of training. It is hundreds of hours. It is schooling and it's testing and it's I mean, just to become a hairdresser. Now, I just went to my hairdresser yesterday. I love my hairdresser, and I wanted to be trained, but
it's protectionism.
It's protectionism, totally. And so being a business and industry, Chris Sanchez just put out a press release a couple of days ago. They have the legislature passed a bill in 2023 that gives him the ability to look at 37 different boards and commissions. We have 300 boards, commissions, and advisory councils in this state. And we're a pretty small state. So we need to get this under control. This has been a big thing. I know when I worked with Adam Laxalt when he was running for governor, I worked with Lombardo on this. We need to make it easier for people to get a job. And the people that we're discouraging and burdening are those that are low income, that want to be the hairdresser, that want to be the landscape architect or the landscaper. So I'm really hopeful that the legislature realizes that they're hurting the people that they want to help the most are the ones that are hurting the most by allowing this protectionism to stay.
And throwing in also qualifications that are good in other states that should be good in Nevada as well, and are not, and that's costing us workers too.
Brian Erling, the CEO of St. Mary's, took 9 months to get his medical license from Colorado to Nevada.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. So we've got to stop this protectionism.
Randi Thompson, I love you. Thank you so much for being here.
You're very welcome.
I'll see you in Carson City despite yourself.
I know.
All right, and we'll be right back.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
We wouldn't steer you wrong with the gold standard of steaks at Joel's Chop House. Indulge in dry-aged steaks, seafood, Wagyu tomahawks, located on the second floor, and great views of the Strip.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
Southwest Specialties has been making the homes and businesses of Nevada beautiful for more than 20 years. Their experienced designers and craftsmen create the walkways, backyards, water features, and a variety of outdoor cooking areas that add curb appeal and value to your investment. Call today or visit them at their website and see how they can make your outdoor spaces special. Southwest Specialties, creative, distinctive, beautiful. As always, you can watch Nevada Newsmakers 24 hours a day on various platforms, including television, radio, our website, audio and video podcasts, YouTube. You want to find the show, you can find it pretty darn easily. And we cover politics, business, health, and education. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next podcast.